A game is a social container. You've got rules you agree to. You've got
Yeah.
some fun. And with Uranus and Mercury and Gemini, and we're shifting from water, earth energy to air, fire energy, games absolutely capture
Yeah.
the airiness, the thought, the communication, the curiosity,
Yeah.
and the fire, the action, the play, the enthusiasm. And so with us entering the summer, what if we move with the season and enjoy games?
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Nurturing Astrology podcast. I'm so glad you're here and thanks for tuning in. Let's dive into today's show. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Nurturing Astrology podcast and my channel if you're watching on YouTube. I'm Dominique, your astrologer and host, and I'm back today with my friend, educator, and astrologer, Melody Whinnery. Hey, Melody.
Hi, glad to be here.
Yeah, this is going
Super
to be a
excited
fun
about the
one.
topic today.
I am. We had a conversation the other day and we were talking about connection in a digital age. And it really took off to the conversation first that we've already dropped about Uranus in Gemini, Mercury in Gemini, and tech and the inbox and the overwhelm and all of that
Yeah.
of the digital age and how we can foster human connection. And another great idea you had was to kind of bring back gaming and this idea of game night and games for the purpose of connection and for all
Mhm.
ages, not just kids.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you're really into that, and I thought this is a great topic and conversation, I think timely for now as we're trying to inspire different ways to maintain and foster human connection in a digital age and a time
Mhm.
of digital overwhelm. So, do share. Let's dive into what it means to kind of upgrade game night.
Absolutely. Thanks. We're coming into the end of the school year. My kids will be done in 2 weeks or less. And I'm already anticipating the messaging from the schools about keeping those academic skills sharp through the summer. And
Mm.
that can be a lot of pressure for parents, like to even think like I'm working on enrichment for my kids. And yes, camps help and they keep those social connections working. But there's also a sense of disconnection happening because of tech and because of how it's everywhere. And it can feel even disconnecting in the home. And
Yes.
I'm wondering if perhaps through the summer we take advantage of this season. Like we can accept the messaging that summers can be hard because the kids aren't going to school and we have to manage them, or we could reverse that and go, I get to the opportunity to do some intentional things with my kids. Um, and this is for homeschool or traditional schooling families.
Yeah.
We're still when I homeschooled, there was still sort of a built up pattern to the day that we maintained through the summer. And yet we also wanted to
Okay.
relax a little bit.
Right.
And so how do we keep up some of the practice of academics without the rote learning or rigid classroom type feel to it? Not all homeschoolers have rigid classroom feels. A lot of them are free form, and
Yeah. Play based.
unschooling is a
Yeah.
beautiful thing. But I just wanted to really give games their due. One of the tactics I used when educating my kids at home because I kept running into this idea of um, I kept running into the idea, why is this relevant, Mom? Why do I need to learn these math facts?
Oh, yeah.
And not being able to necessarily recreate the why because it's so huge. Why do you need to know your math facts? Well,
Yeah.
everything. Like
Yeah.
there's reasons, but
Yeah.
like it's actually a huge question from a very small child, and to know
Yeah.
how to answer it is overwhelming.
All ages in school. Why do I need to use this?
Right.
When am I ever going
All
to use
ages,
this?
all ages. But what for me personally, what I found was I pulled out Monopoly, not my favorite game, not
Hmm.
something I would even promote anymore necessarily. But while the kids were playing it, adding the two dice that you rolled together, suddenly their math facts came faster
Right.
because they could see the relevance. It became important to know because it mattered to them personally in how they moved around the board, which is a very like simple, contained um, example that they could interact with. And that's what I
Yeah.
love about games as a container. They're not just entertainment. It's
Yeah.
a game is a social container. You've got rules you agree to. You've got
Yeah.
some fun. And with Uranus and Mercury and Gemini, and we're shifting from water, earth energy to air, fire energy, games absolutely capture
Yeah.
the airiness, the thought, the communication, the curiosity,
Yeah.
and the fire, the action, the play, the enthusiasm. And so, with us entering the summer, what if we move with the season and enjoy games? And it doesn't
Oh
have to
yeah.
be every day. Although I will say, I recently, with this in mind, pulled some Trivial Pursuit cards just next to the table at dinner time. And we started just reading the questions, not to compete, not to try and pull the game board out. But I was surprised at how much it shifted the way our kind of quiet dinners had been. Like suddenly we had things that were trying to guess or topics that they didn't know that answer, or the cards are kind of old and some of the answers aren't true anymore. And it led
Mm.
to conversations about what was life like in the 80s and 90s that I got to share a little bit. So it was really, really sweet to see how this game fostered some connection around the dinner table.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. I
Yeah.
mean, it definitely, I feel like that story could be so inspirational for families and parents to be like, what a great idea. I know at family events, we have barbecues and stuff. We'll pull out and we'll play like 31 as a family and stuff. And it's just
Nice.
simple and so fun. And you're laughing and
Yes.
joking and connecting. And board games are the same way. And I think even
Yeah.
for kids too, it becomes unconscious, even that they're learning these things or that
Right.
you know what I mean? And
Right.
I guess you can't take that entirely out of the picture when you talk about gaming and kids on games because there are like strategies and things that they're learning. And I would go in
Yeah.
and ask my son when he was playing by himself what he was doing. He was like, "Oh, I'm doing challenges. I'm practicing so he can get these skills so that when he
Right.
plays, he has the strategies to like win or work with people on the games." And
Yes.
so I used to be very down on video games and I'm not a huge fan at all.
Sure. I
But
mean, time. Yeah.
yeah, and it was like during COVID times when you open that up because it was the only way for kids to kind of get together and socialize.
Yes.
But I was like, okay, there are things they're learning here.
Another thing around tech is that we can use games that are already online. I know
Ooh,
we're sort of focused on in-person board games, but there are games you can play online. I've seen my kids playing and really connecting with their friends around some of those phone app games where you're holding it up
yes.
above your head, or it's simulating some guessing game questions, and they're
Yep.
really having a lot of fun and bonding. So using the tech in a way that's connecting is super helpful. Another one is I've played Jackbox Party, which has lots of different kinds of games, sort of
Yes.
game show like.
Yes.
One of the ones that we played during COVID was actually you collaboratively built a slide deck and used some key phrases, and
Yes.
then each person got assigned randomly a slide deck and the topic, and then
Hmm.
they had to get up with my youngest got up with an iPad and do a presentation
Oh, wow.
using the slides and the prompts.
Oh,
And I
wow.
was so proud. Like in during COVID, I think my youngest was 11, and
Mm.
she stood in front of the rest of us, the five of the rest of us, and gave this beautiful presentation. I didn't even know she could do that. And so it just,
Wow.
there's so many creative things out there. And rather
Yes.
than be completely like no tech,
Right.
find the ones, be intentional, and choose the ones that you really think are going to play to the strengths of your family. And
Yep.
not everybody's going to have the same strengths, but like work to celebrate each one as they show what they're really good at. And the astrology starts firing at me again. Like,
No,
yes.
no doubt. That's so true. I remember at dinner, after dinner with some friends, it was me and my son and my husband and my friend and her partner. And it was like, hey, let's play this game. And it was one of those where you have something on your head and everybody has to kind of like say words and they have to guess what they have. And it was
Amazing.
so fun. So you have that way of bringing people together, even using the tech. And now that you say Jackbox, I remember my sister-in-law, I think, brought that to all of us and we played that one time. It was a lot of fun.
Lots of fun.
And now
Yes.
I'm even also thinking about my son and his friend. A lot of times we'll go over there for dinner and hang out, and I see the two of them on their phones, and I'm like, what are you two doing? You're right in front of each other. They're
Yes.
playing a game
They're playing a game.
with each other on their
Yes.
phones.
Yes. And the other thing, one other thing I'll say as far as tech versus analog is analog requires money. Like
Yep.
sometimes you gotta buy, and games can be pricey,
Yep.
especially right now with tariffs and a lot of the construction is overseas. And so
Yep.
prices of games are going up, and that
Yeah.
can be an access issue. Whereas if you've already got a phone, it's a little
Hmm.
less costly to get an app or a game than it
That's
is to
true.
get an analog. So
That's a good point.
it's wonderful the access we have to so many different things.
Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
don't think we can completely cut out some of the benefits of something like that. It's still a game, it still creates connection.
Yes.
But this idea of getting off tech and having that human connection is
Yes.
sometimes those great games, because they're older and, our generation, whatever,
Yes.
they're forgotten about, or,
Mhm.
they're missing since everybody's so focused on digital. So I love that we're bringing that back. I used to love to play Uno with my
Oh
son.
yeah.
Oh my
Oh
gosh,
yeah.
we would play Uno with the family. It was so fun, and
Amazing.
you learn a
Yes.
lot about each other, and you can even their astrology lights up because who's really
Oh,
competitive and who's
oh
like,
my
I don't
goodness.
care. You know what I
Yes.
mean? I
Yes.
lost again, whatever, and everyone's like, oh, I never want to lose. So it's a real interesting, a great way to socialize, to get to know each other, to connect, to laugh, to bond. And I really, when you said that the other day, I thought, oh my gosh, what a great idea for fostering human connection during this digital time, is like to actually make a point to
Yes.
play some games, to have some fun, which is very Gemini. I
Yes.
mean, I think games are way underestimated at the power.
Underestimated, dismissed as froofy and not serious. And the studies are out there that we
Yeah,
learn through play better than we learn any other way.
yeah,
Memorization does not hold a candle to playing and making mistakes. You remember things
yes,
that you fail at first better than if you've just always gotten it right, which is wild. That's wild. And games create this wonderful container. All games teach something. Even the party games are about
yeah,
connection or wordplay or simple
yeah,
numbers. They create a social container with rules, goals, stakes, sometimes collaboration. Collaboration, honestly, is one of my
yeah,
favorite types of games, but a lot of people are much more into the competitive
yeah,
nature of games.
yeah.
Um, Games create an independent motivation that's not pushed by parents or teachers or an
Mm,
outside there. It's more of an internal motivation. You agree to play the game because you want to
yeah,
play the game, and you're learning things.
yeah.
um and they can be self-correcting when
Mm,
you're in that moment of failure or challenge. You're, oh, what could I have done differently, because you're already in that fire, air, creativity mode that the
yeah,
game kind of sets up.
yeah.
So I have a couple of my favorite games that
Oh,
I
cool.
have demoed to actual teachers, friends of mine who are classroom teachers, that I was able to share, and they went gaga for.
Okay,
The first one is called Prime Climb,
cool.
and it is a number spiral that, oh, let me see if I can get the board. It's a little bit of a big board.
Let's see.
Let me try to show it to you.
Oh, that's cool.
It's beautiful, right? And
Yeah,
it's
that's cool
numbers.
looking. I
It's
love the
so good. It's
spiral.
so good. Okay, I'm going to show the first few prime numbers.
Okay.
So there we are. And you can see the pattern. 2 is orange, 3 is green. If
Yes.
you look closely at that 4,
Yeah.
there's a subtle line halfway through. That's because 2 times 2 is 4.
Oh, nice.
Then 5 is blue.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got 6, which is green and orange. That's because 2 times 3 is 6.
Ooh,
And then
awesome.
you get up to 7, which is purple, and 8 with 3
3.
orange segments. That's because 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Then
Wow.
you've got 9 with 2 threes, 3 times 3, and 10 with a 2 and a 5. And then you get to a
Wow.
red 11.
I
And
love that.
every
That is
single
so cool.
number has a unique signature because of the factors. So not only does it teach math facts, because you have to use the dice to move your piece and you have to act on it with multiplication, division, adding or subtracting.
Wow.
But it also shows you those factors and the multiples. And as you get better and better working with it, they come faster and faster. Oh, one other thing I wanted to share.
Wow.
When a prime number is a factor,
Uh-huh.
let's see this one. It's listed. So it actually has,
Yeah.
it's 2 times 3 times 11 is 66. So
Wow.
it's a beautiful game. It's fun to play. I'm not a math girl.
Me
It
neither. That's why
wasn't
I'm like,
until I was teaching my own kids and discovered that math was patterns and how much fun that was. And that wasn't until my 30s that I really got interested in math. I'm a language arts girly from way, way, way back. So this game, discovering this game was so much fun. I used it. I heavily used it. I was hired to tutor 2 young twins who were entering first grade, our first year of COVID shutdown. They'd only been in preschool and in-person kindergarten, and that fall of 2020, they were starting first grade, and I offered my services, and they took to prime climb like nobody's business. And of course, first graders, they're only adding and subtracting, so that kind of limited some things. But towards the end of the year, I was able to teach them that adding doubles is also known as multiplying. And
oh,
so
yep.
and so I was like, and if you really work on this and do these other goals, I'll
Yeah.
let you multiply by 2 or multiply by 3 if you can handle it. Like it was super
Nice.
fun to just add those stretch goals to them. Um,
So
anyway,
what is the game? What are the ages listed for that game?
oh, great question. Great question. Let
Even
me
though it's
look.
probably you could adapt it,
Yeah, I should
obviously.
look. I should look. It says ages 10 plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because in
so
third
yeah, you
grade,
can
in
adapt
third
it
grade, when
younger.
you're, yeah, you can adapt it for younger, absolutely. But in third grade is when you're usually learning multiplication, division,
Yeah.
factors, and multiples.
But
Yeah.
even like what a fun game for, kids that are struggling in that way at that
Mhm.
age and to make it fun and make it a game. So if
Yes.
you've got a child who's kind of in that transition this summer and you really want them to learn instead of having to do your multiplication,
Right.
flashcards and all that
It
stuff.
makes
Oh my
it
God, what a pain in the
relevant
butt.
and fun and it's pretty. And the other thing I didn't mention, every time you land on a prime number, you get to pick a card and
Oh.
it'll give you bonus things. This is a keeper card. You keep it for 1 round, and then any time after that, you can add 8 to whatever
Mm.
you want to do or
And
subtract
so the goal
8.
is to get to the center of the circle.
The goal is to get both of your pawns, you get 2, and you can
Okay.
move them separately through the whole game, but exactly on 101, which is the prime number after 100. But you have to get it exact, which also kind of means you have to
Yep.
sometimes subtracting and then adding. And then there's other fun cards for prime climb cards, reverse to the pawn nearest you and send them back to start, that kind of thing.
Oh,
So
okay. That
it's
reminds me of like sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. It's got a little bit of that. Depending on your group. Some people
Yeah.
like to play that way, some people don't. But
What a
it's
great game.
thank
I've
you.
never heard of
Thank you.
that. I would have
Yeah,
definitely got it if I heard about it.
it's super good. I love it. I've promoted it to other homeschooling parents, friends, but I walked in my child's math class at school one day in middle school and saw it on the teacher's shelf. So it
Yes. I
is
was
being
just
used in
asking that. I was,
schools, and I feel like often it gets used as a reward, but I think it has so much to offer as far as teaching and practical use of math skills for your own purposes.
yes. Oh my gosh,
Winning.
exactly. I'm glad you saw it in classroom because I was thinking, oh my gosh, this should
Yes.
be in
Yeah.
schools. I mean,
Yes.
we
Yes.
talk about
Exactly.
earlier in our other episodes about, the joy of learning and how school kind of like can suck that out of a child who really does enjoy learning. And then why not implement something like more games, educational games like that into a classroom?
And if you're a parent who enjoys math, the connection part of the game,
Yeah.
like playing with someone else who does enjoy math, can actually bring the joy about for math.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
even if you slow it down and aren't rushing to compete, sometimes you've got learning opportunities that occur within gameplay of, okay, that's a great choice and you can keep choosing that, but what if you did this instead?
Hmm.
Different operation on the number, take the number a different direction. It would get you this instead. Maybe you get to a prime number instead of just advancing up the wheel, and the prime number gives you a card. So it's got this creativity bit to it that
Yeah.
isn't always accessed in math classes. And the other game that I would like to show is a little is still math oriented, but it's a little more about where is the excuse me,
Hmm.
it's a little more about spatial reasoning and logic. I
Ooh.
recognize these are not for as language oriented as I am. These are not language oriented games that I'm promoting today. It's called Genius Square.
Okay. Genius Square.
You basically get a grid of your own,
Okay.
and you roll some dice that have the grid numbers on it. So the dice say C3,
Hmm.
A1,
Kind of like
G4,
Battleship.
a little bit, yes. Then what you do is you take your cute little pegs that look like this, and you fill out those unique
Calls. Okay.
forms.
Hmm.
Then you race your partner in placing every single one of these unique pieces. So
Oh.
it is very Tetris-like. Obviously,
Ooh.
the pieces don't disappear, but it's been tested um, so that every combination of dice has a solution. Some of them have multiple solutions.
Oh, I love
And
that.
what I love about
Critical
this
thinking.
game, yes, exactly. What I love about this game is I've bought two. Each one comes with two of these. You play it as a two-player game, but there's no reason you can't have eight of them and play with 16 people,
Whoa.
right? Because it's all the same. It's all the same, and you're all working on the same problem and seeing. And the other thing we like to do is whoever gets the solution first, I cover it up and then my kids finish, and then we all reveal to see if we have the same solution or different solutions, which is
Ooh.
so fun. And again, any size group can play it. And most people, like I played it with my mom, who's not necessarily a gamer, but fitting pieces into a small square
What a
is
great
absolutely
game.
something accessible for anyone, almost any mental
Age.
capacity.
I mean, my
Yeah.
mom plays with her girls. They do their game days, they do sequence, they do these things. And
Yes.
it is so good for older folks
Yes.
for their
To keep their
cognitive,
the
to keep them
cognitive.
sharp. And
Absolutely.
that's why I said, like, bring back the gift of games for all ages and stages, like,
Yes.
literally all
Yes.
ages and stages.
Yeah.
And those are fascinating. So, I mean, from Trivial Pursuit to, math games to regular cards, Uno, all
Yes.
those old things, Connect Four. I mean,
Clue. Clue, the
Clue. Oh, that's a
deduction
fun one.
games. Yep.
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 Checkers and chess are
Hmm.
great games. I know there's
Yes.
a bunch of games in my son's closet because we used to always play games. And, he's older and stuff, but I was like, I don't want to get rid of these games. You just don't know. And the more, when we had this conversation, I was like, we have to talk about this. I was like, we need to play games. We need to get back
Yes.
to this. It was so
Yeah.
fun.
I participate in a local playtesting group, and I
Ooh.
playtested a game the other day where we collaborated on free verse poetry. and we all drew word cards. And she had a sample poem from the 1800s with her own little, a brief
Wow.
interpretation of the theme and what it was about. And then each person took a turn with the cards in front of them writing a line. So we ended up with a 6 or 7 line poem at the end. It was
Oh my
wild.
gosh,
So
that's so
this just as an
cool.
example of there are language games out there too as well that
Oh yeah.
spark lots of conversations.
Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, so many games. Drop your favorite game in the comments.
Right,
Like,
please
I want to
do.
know
Please.
more, right? That's
Yes.
so cool.
Yes. And there are resources in my research because I like to do a little research before we get on here just so I'm
Yeah.
full to the brim with things to offer.
Yeah.
Um, there are resources out there where teachers have built um, databases of games, what the subject that they address, what the age group,
Oh,
and
nice.
what the educational metrics that they meet.
Is that
So
a
the research,
website that we could
I
drop?
yes,
Okay, good.
gamelevellearn.com, and we'll drop it. I'll let you
Okay,
know where
perfect.
that
I'll
is.
put that in the show notes as well. I find this so wonderful, this idea of games and as a source of connection. What a great thing to do for the summer is
Yes.
to
Yes.
bring, summer learning back in a fun way. Those that summer slide they talk about, right? You
Yes.
bring it back to what you said in the beginning, that summer slide. It's like, how can we prevent that? But let's do it in a fun way, not in a
Yeah.
way that's like you have to practice your math facts and your
Yeah,
flashcards
instead
and
of connecting it back to school itself, make it about connecting as a family and
yeah,
using the skills they already have. They don't have to review it every single day to keep the
yeah,
skills sharp. They can do it
yep.
once a week, twice
And,
a week at game night, and it'll be fine.
oh my gosh, it'll be great. And even Pluto and Aquarius, it made me think of like this idea of groups, gaming groups,
Yes.
and people who used to
Yes.
get together and do like D&D, right? Like,
Mhm.
Dungeons and Dragons, those groups, like they're still out there, I'm sure, where
Oh,
they
oh my
meet,
goodness. There,
right?
there's a D&D renaissance right now going
Right?
on. Yes,
So
absolutely.
maybe it's these kinds of like game nights could be new group events that people start to put together to bring
Absolutely.
people together. I think
Hmm.
that's awesome. Whatever it is, you get a bunch of people into, those certain games, like getting those boards and having 16 of you guys get together and. Have a party and play this.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I think it's very timely. And I think it's a beautiful example of how we can foster human connection through games.
Yeah.
And in this
Yeah.
time of digital overwhelm and all the tech things happening and all the online stuff, how can we like really get back to having that time of connection through a fun thing like a game?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just to kind of touch back to some of our other thought starters and the theme that we weave through every episode, um, astrology touches so many of the subject matter at school.
Yes.
Um, Pattern recognition,
Yep.
math, geometry, symbols, language, interpretation, mythology,
Mm-hmm.
history. It's all there. And
Yep.
it's genuinely cross-disciplinary. And one of my favorite, obviously, subjects, or I wouldn't be here. Um, I I have a wish and a desire to create this beautiful, full astrology curriculum that will
Mm.
grow with people from birth to elder. And I am currently developing a board game series, actually a board book series with a board game on the way. So stay tuned.
Awesome.
There will
Awesome.
be
Yes,
more announcements coming.
I'm so excited. That's great.
Yes.
It's going to be perfect. Again, very timely innovation, very timely. And yes, I agree. Thanks for bringing that through line in because that is why we have such a passion for bringing astrology into
Yes.
education because it does have that vast ability. Also, I know there are a few astrology games out there.
Oh,
They're
yes.
rare, but there are some already. And I'm another call to astrologers and you are into games. Like maybe this is something creative and
I have
innovative you
three of
might
them
want to
right over
do.
there. We can do a whole episode just on those.
Do you have
So
are there any games that you found that are astrology based that are more authentic or are teaching? And maybe that's the call to astrologers who actually know this, right?
that's why I'm trying to make the game I'm
Yeah,
trying to
that's why
make.
you need to write, you need to make that game.
That's why I'm passionate about it. And the other thing is a lot of game design theory is around competition.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that astrology is more suited to collaboration.
Yeah.
and that really we'll learn the most about astrology when we're collaborating rather than competing. And so my biggest objection to a lot of astrology games is it's one sign trying to win over all the others.
Yeah.
And
I think
I'm just like everything about me
nope.
goes, stop.
Yeah, that's the opposite of what we're trying to do
That's
here with
exactly
astrology.
opposite. And
It's going to
so
give
it's
astrology more of a bad name. We don't want that, right? I
right.
can see the idea of like even picture like having to stand up and act out a sign or a planet or something like that, and you get
Right.
points if you get that right or something like
Yes.
that. You
Yes.
know what I mean? So
That's
you're
fun.
learning and it's fun and there's like an
Yeah.
embodiment of the energy or the expression,
Right.
even if some of it's stereotypical or some of it is like more nuanced, you know what I mean? So I
Right.
think there's
Right.
a lot there. And I think that brings us back to Uranus and Gemini with this creativity and innovation and ideas
Yes.
for creating something that also can bring people together and keep us
Yes.
connected.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, this is so good. I love this conversation.
Awesome.
Thank you for doing
Awesome.
this, for piquing my curiosity with this and saying, let's do a talk on this because I think
Sure.
people could resonate and it might give people some fun ideas for the summer that go beyond, everybody sitting on their phones, even if they're, on vacation and everyone's still on their digital, like, hey, let's do
Yeah.
something fun together as a family
Yes.
and let's play a game.
Exactly. Awesome.
Yay,
Thank
awesome. Thank you so
you.
much, Melody. I can't wait to
Yeah.
do the next one.
Me neither.
Take care. We'll talk soon. Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Thanks for listening, and I hope you gained some great astrology insight and inspiration from today's show. I'd love to hear, so drop me a comment or share in a review. Check out the show notes for all the details and links about today's episode, how you can connect with me on social or work with me directly. And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Take care and keep nurturing the nature, friends. I'll see you on the next episode.